Another home reclaimed or being reclaimed by the earth. Another one. This one here is a familiar place for me, at least. For sale for many, many years. Brothers that were born, some left Barbados, shoot, in 1930s, 50s, 60s, slowly. That's right, unloved, right? '50s and '60s. Many days I've walked past here and stopped at my auntie up here. She gave me what at the time was enough to buy a whole package of candy. They call it halfpenny, a penny. Or tuppence, as the British call it. 2 British pence. Stop here on the way to school, going down that direction. Granddad died, godfather died, and it's only my generation and the following after that that's left. Slowly the relatives are spreading out, well, have spread out back to where some of them came from. Some followed back to England, some went to Canada, some to the US. And actually one became the Attorney General of the US. Well, not the sons that left here, but their children. This was a house that I knew too. But now, being reclaimed. After the elders have died, the young people no longer interested in maintaining it, went off to England. I remember when this was productive land, as they call it in Barbados. People made a living from selling the fruits from this land. Avocados are now, what do you call avocados? What you call pears here in Barbados. These are now growing, they maturing and falling off the tree. But the funny thing is that while these fall off the tree, people in Barbados are paying $5 for one avocado coming from the US. And it's the size of that one right there. As many as these things grow in Barbados, the government here has not created a market for it. I often wonder, what does the ambassador for Barbados do in England where you can't grow these things, in Canada where these things don't grow, and other places where it's cold, where these trees don't grow, where these fruits can't be produced in large numbers. What does that ambassador do? It's similar to what ambassadors from Africa do. They go and sit, drive around the country, getting paid, occasionally showing up at the congressional hearings, or because they heard that Congress is getting ready to pass a bill that's going to give the Caribbean some money or Africa some money, and they have to go get their share. Another little path that I traveled as a child. Wow. Me and all the other boys from the neighborhood, we knew every track through these woods. Wow. Nice. We knew every track through these woods. Now, of course, now this, what they used to call at the time Donkey Cart Road, is now paved. But every tree, and when it grew fruit, we knew. And there are lots of trees around here that grow fruit. Wow. They rebuilt from the wooden structure to the stone structure. That's how it's done here. Over time. All of this land behind there, sugar cane sometimes, sweet potatoes, yams, what African call jabero, cassava, you know, pumpkin. This tree grow a fruit. Yep, there it is right there. This the fruit. Just grow, fall off the tree like that to be wasted. And the funny thing is that it makes a very nice. All the kids in the neighborhood, including me, I used to have about 4 or 5 of those sheep. I was 2 years old. I followed my auntie to tie them, you know, down here on the flat land. Right there, down there. And when I was 5 years old, I'd do it myself. Good morning. There's the old lady. I said, good morning. That's the way it is in Barbados. You walk through the neighborhood, somebody's watching. Mangoes falling off the tree. Once upon a time, people used to harvest the mangoes, make juice, make something out of the mango. Spread it on your bread in the morning. What's happening now is you get places like this right here where Caucasians come and buy the land. They come from Canada and England, buy the land here. Build a house. Sometimes they even plant export crops, you know, bananas, pomegranates. Make specialty foods that they sell. You know, brands. All right. This old lady, as I was saying, they see everything that goes on in the neighborhood. This village also related family, cousins. Young fellas hauling sand up the hill to build something in the back. Just like Africa. Trees filled with avocados. The one picking them. House falling apart. Abandoned. Like I said, all this that could be harvested and exported, but being wasted. I often used to drive around the Gambia and see the potential for a lot of other products like this. Oh well. Envy and jealousy is not good. Destroys. This road going up Horse Hill, from the top of the Horse Hill to going down here. Many years it's rough and pavement breaking up. Now it will appear that getting ready to pave it. Now I've heard complaints from some people who among them call themselves the loyal opposition. Their complaint is that Chinese got a contract to pave this road. Now, I remember when the original road was paved now, and how many years it took to pave it. About a mile or so of pavement, you know. I remember, and this was done, what you see here being done in the last couple of months. that's from when I saw the surveyors come down and survey the land to what it is right now. Vaughn's Road number 2. Vaughn's is the name of an Englishman. Well, actually, is it Englishman or a Scotsman? Vaughan, I think he was Englishman. He was. Nevertheless, British. Owned all of this land that you're seeing all around here. It was a huge plantation. Made millions for the British. The Vaughn's family, the king and queen. We are going to a place called St. Elizabeth Village, further down where that car is coming from. Named after Queen Elizabeth I. See, the roads used to look like this. Now they're taking off the top layer to repave it. Those of you who are Barbadians that watch my videos, you've come this way going to the East Coast Road or to Bathsheba during the holiday season. Well, let me show you something. See houses being reclaimed again. Earthquake separated this. There are not many earthquakes in Barbados. As a matter of fact, the earthquakes really don't happen in Barbados or underneath Barbados. Well, I shouldn't say no underneath Barbados. Underneath Barbados at a level that will cause that kind of damage. Earthquakes happens 100 miles, 200 miles from Barbados. In St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Grenada, Trinidad. St. Kitts. Those islands are in a circle around or to the west of Barbados. Southwest, northwest. But about every 20 years, that's what let's see, this one happened probably about 20 years ago, a little more than 20 years. But this was the church. My school, the school I went to from 4 years old to about 8 was right here on this spot. 2 stories high, made of these same blocks. And this used to be the graveyard where the people, mostly from Forest Hill, around this area, within, I would say, a couple, or about 10 square miles around this area, all connected to the church here, the church in Bathsheba, and the church up St. John. See, even behind there, as a little kid, I used to go play behind here, swinging on the trees and all that. At the time, you know, Barbados, when you're a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, you see the same thing in Africa, where the little kids can run. As long as you got your parents' permission, the whole neighborhood, family lived through there. Some of my family and relatives lived there. So wherever you go, there was someone looking after you, looking out for you. This house, they are not directly related by blood. When I say directly, I'm talking about not first, second, or third cousin. Because that's the way people look at it for marriage here. But Kelly and his wife moved to England with my dad. They came back when my dad came back. And after my dad died, they decided to go back to England because living in England for what, 50, 60 years, returning to Barbados is a different atmosphere. So they built a house and came back, but decided to go back to England because for them it was easier to live in England. A lot of people do that. And here again, same thing. Little kids could run around everywhere. This is the road now that's being... Good morning. Yeah, fixing the roads. But the Chinese got the contract to do it. The last people who did were Barbadians by citizenship, but they're British in origin. And it cost more if you compare it to yesterday's dollar to today's dollar. It costs more to build this road than now, and longer. It's took longer to build it than what you're seeing here.